Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Huang. So in today's recording, I am trying to cover two questions you asked in the past week. And first of all, I would like to say everyone is doing a great job to really comprehend the constructivism in the past week. What I've seen from the assignments, from the discussion board, and share out our interest to learn more about constructivism and also question about how are the three learning theories combined together to support instructional design or to design a good learning experience. So in today's recording, I'm trying to address the two questions. Okay, then let me share my screen. Okay, first of all, let's do a very quick review of the constructivist learning theory. I believe all of you got it really good in your own learning experience, or when you were teaching a course back in high school or in college, you touched many facets in constructivist learning theory. So again, I just wanted to recap that basically in this chapter, the author talk about the two school of thoughts. One is Piaget's theory. He basically talk about the three basic components, different types of knowledge, stages of development, and the process to transition from one stage to the next. So Piaget's three types of knowledge, including physical, logical, mathematical, and social. If you have the chance, you can read more about his writing. But in this chapter here, let me just quickly just know that there are three types of knowledge is being covered. And the next one is the four development stages. This is a really important work, especially to contribute in the child development theory. So as you can see, there are four phases: sensory, motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. And for some of you who are interested in developing instructions for children, this is a good learning theory to help you. The next one is the processes of development. What I want to point out is in the discussion board, I see some of you catch, this really good catch is say, hey, in the cognitivism, I saw they were talking about the schema and the prior knowledge. So how does the schema or schemata here relates to from the cognitism to the constructivism? So that's a really good question. So in my opinion, in the cognitism, it's talking about use schema or schemata, it's the patterns. So that's how human brain chunking information. And when we move to learning the constructivism, we come to the process to continue to develop the knowledge or skills from the pre-existing knowledge skills, the prior knowledge, to new knowledge. So in the cognitivism, in constructivism, the focus is on the development. So as you can see here, the important thing is the adaptation. It's from their dissemination, is if there is a new knowledge kind of fits the existing scheme. So we think, okay, so we understand. If the new knowledge or new skill doesn't quite fit the previous knowledge or skill, so this is where the disequilibration happens. So we're trying to adapt or shape our understanding or shape skills in order to reach the new, here we call it the new, reach the equilibration. So it happens both for assimilation and accommodation. So there is a link between, yes, in the previous cognitism, we're talking about schema, and then here is we're talking about how to develop new skills to fit in the existing schemes. All right, and I also see some of you are discussing the study or the research about from Vygotsky. Specifically, he focused on the social interactions. And there are two of them. One is self-regulation, is help the internalization of the actions, it's the mental operations to occur in the social interactions. A third one is to develop the knowledge through cultural transmission of tools such as language, symbols, objects, and social institutions. So this is the area I see some of you are interested in, and I hope you can find more about his study. In the instructional design area, I would say very often we're talking about is Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. And I believe in my previous recording, I briefly mentioned about ZPT, but here I feel like some of you may get it, others may not. So I put a graphic here. So ZPT measures is the gap between what the student can do independently versus the student cannot do by him or herself. So he needs some helping from other people, whether peers or instructors or teachers. So this is about the description of ZPD. And in the chapter, you get the chance to learn about the 4 different strategies implemented in the Constructivism. Here, I would like to highlight 2. The first one, active learning, and the fourth one, the collaborative learning. So I see some of you ask the question is, yes, maybe right now in the higher education, you see passive learning, and what I will assure you is that it's changing. More and more faculties, professors, instructors are talking about adopting constructivism, and specifically this one, active learning. Use the active learning method to help to engage students. So I would like you to, if you can, to find this graphic, and I can also share this with you. I really like this graphic, the diagram, kind of like provided all the active learning strategies from the very simple one, like the pause for reflection, self-assessment, think, pair, share, probably you've seen it somewhere, to the very complex one, like inquiry learning or maybe role playing. So I think this will give you a clue if you need more resource about active learning. And if you can see the link here, you can definitely check the original source. Okay, the next 2 concepts I would like to distinguish is collaborative learning and cooperative learning. And I will tell you, when I was a student, I often confused. This 2 looks very similar because you can tell we put students together, we put them into groups, and we hope them can study. But there's a difference between these 2. So the first one, collaborative learning here means the learners, they are studying together and they may work on the entire task. And the cooperative learning is each member work on a piece of the task and assembles the final product together. So think about in this course here, if I put you into groups and you are not saying, okay, student A only study module 1, student B only study module 2, and in the end, you assemble it together. If it's in that way, that is cooperative learning because each of you touch one piece of the task. But in this situation, in this semester, student A needs to learn all the modules, module 1 to 3 through 7. Student B did the same. The difference is you have a lot of discussion, and I put you into groups to study a book. So in some way, this is a collaborative learning. Okay, next, let me transition to the second major question I I get to hear in the past week is how do learning theories impact instructional design or learning design? Here I found on the website Design for Learning, and also I will share the link with you. This graphic from Morrison, I think it captures really well about, you can see from the graphic here. Hold on, let me see if I'm still sharing. Okay. Okay. Good. So now you can see the graphic. Apologize for that. So this is a website. I will share that in the announcement. If you have a chance, you can please check it. I think it talks really good about the different learning theories, how they contribute to the learning and instructional design. And it's good here, it talk about connectivism, which will be the topic you were studying for this week. And also, I would say that later on in the future, in the course, if you have the chance to study the systematic design, you will begin to see at different design phases how behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism come into play. So remember, for example, when we were at the beginning of the semester, we talk about behaviorism, and we talk about where are the applications, where are the opportunities. The behaviorism affects instructional design. So one is to write learning objectives, and then later on, when we continue to design, there will be a phase called a task analysis. That is, you will go into details to look at each task and topics. That's probably where you will touch cognitivism, because you want to group the topics or the knowledges. And then when you move to the phase of design, the learning or design the instruction, you begin to start instructional strategies. That's where the place you will touch both, all of them, behaviorism, cognitivism, and constructivism. Okay, and I stop sharing here. So in today's recording, I hope I covered two major questions you asked for the past 2 weeks. The more depth about constructivism and how our learning theories are coming together into play. Thank you.